गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल। तो आज हम पढ़ेंगे मोशन इन 2D, टू डायमेंशनल 2D motion. From the name it is very much clear to you that the motion which are being directed in two directions, that is known as 2D. In 2D case we will only take the x and y axis into the numerical consideration and all the explanation of each and every phenomena. So let's start with some basic of the projectile motions. Any object which is thrown from a base of a point and goes in a vertical direction again fall to the ground. Whatever thing goes up definitely has to come back. This is that phenomena. It happens, this motion is known as projectile motion because only acceleration is acting in one direction, that is acceleration due to gravity. In the horizontal case, like in the direction of x, we consider as that there is no acceleration. Suppose an object is thrown with a velocity of u, then its horizontal component will be u cos theta and its vertical component will be u sin theta. This you have read in earlier classes. Now this object it will reach a maximum height of h when the vy, like this velocity will be here, vy will be equal to 0 and vx will be same as u cos theta. This is because there is no acceleration in the x direction, therefore this initial velocity will remain as the final velocity. The velocity of x component will remain same at any point of this motion, and at the final end stage also this downward will be vy minus vy, you can say it, so minus u cos theta. If you want to consider the direction, then take negative, or for the basic understanding I'll try to not take the negative signs. Vy is u cos theta and in the x direction it will be vx, that is this will be v sin theta and this will be u cos theta. Again, if you resolve this will comes out to be u, same as the initial velocity. So here we have to derive 2-3 things. Like suppose we consider there is a question which is generally asked. We will also derive that formula, which is known for the what will be the angle at which we have to throw so that the range will be maximum, because range, this horizontal distance basically depends on this theta also. Suppose you throw this object totally at the vertical position, like theta is 90 degrees, then the range will become as 0. And if you throw this particular object at theta is equals to 0, then also r will again comes out to be 0, because this object will not travel any of the x distance. So here we have to derive 2-3 things. First of all, we just assume what will be the height of this object attained if it is thrown with a u velocity. So we will consider this vertical displacement, taking the equation of motions. We have we have to find h, so we will take as these 3 equations you must be knowing. V is equals to u plus at, s is equals to ut plus half at square, and v square minus u square is equals to 2as. This you must be familiar with. So using these equations only, each and every, like whether it is 1D or whether it is 2D, each and every question can be solved using these equations. So you don't have to memorize every formula. Here in this class only we will discuss that everything can be resolved. If you just have a basic knowledge about these 3 equations, then every questions can be resolved. So first take this motion, like initial motion, using this equation 1. We have to find height, so we will use equation 3 we will use. Okay, so here final velocity at this point is 0, vertical component. We will only consider the y-axis component of velocity, because in the x direction there is no acceleration. So these x component of this velocity will not change the height of this particular object. So v, what is the final velocity is 0 minus initial velocity is u sine theta, so it will be u square sine square theta is equals to 2 into g will be negative because it is motion is in upward direction, 2 into minus g into h. From here minus is minus and h comes out to be u square sine square theta by 2g. So here you some students might remember this formula, but there is no need to remember the formula, but just use these equation and each and everything can be calculated. This you have done. Now let's just assume what will be the total time taken during this motion. So first of all we will we will calculate the time taken from, because the time taken in the ascent direction will be same as the descent from this point to from 0 O to A to B. The time taken from 0 to A will be same as time taken from A to B. If we calculate the time from A to A, then we will twice the time. So we will use the equation, we can use this equation, first you can use V is equals to U plus AT. Final velocity is 0 at A point, initial velocity at O is U sine theta, it will be minus G into T, T1. The time comes out to be from here is T is equals to U sine theta by G. It's very simple, U, T1. So total time for the travel will be, total time is equals to T1 plus T2. T1 is equals to T2. So total time will be twice of U sine theta by G. This will be the total time. Now if you want to calculate the range, that what will be the range? So we will represent range as R. Range is equals to, here we cannot use this formula because there is no acceleration in this direction, or if you can also use this, but again if you put A is equals to 0, then this will be resolved into distance is equals to speed into time, will be same using second. Suppose if you use the second equation, if acceleration is 0, this equation will transfer into normal equation formula, that is distance is equals to speed into time. Here we are using range is equals to speed in this direction, that is ux into total time taken, because time taken for a particular object from O to B will be same as this time, because time is universal and it is counting simultaneously for both the events. So ux is u cos theta, that is same, and total time we will take that equation from here, 2u sin theta by g. I think it's clear to you. Now you can use the formula 2 sin theta cos theta. It will become u square sine 2 theta by g. I'll write using equation sine 2 theta is equals to 2 sine theta cos theta. Using this equation we will resolve cos theta 2 sine theta into sine 2 theta. So R is counted at this. This is the range. I think everything has been cleared. H we have calculated, right? Total time we have calculated, range we have calculated. I think only these parameters are asked. Basically they can ask at any point also, but later on we will discuss that. First we will just go for a brief. One more derivation they usually ask in the exams, that what will be the, at what angle we should throw an object so that range will be maximum. For that I'll rub this. Question is, what is the theta at which range is maximum? So we will take this equation into consideration. It's very simple. R is equals to u square sine 2 theta by g. We will derivate this with respect to theta. So dr by d theta is equals to u square by g into 2 cos 2 theta. That is for the maximum value of r, this dr by d theta should be equal to 0. So dr by d theta is equals to 0 for r max. To calculate any maximum of any value, any variable, we just have to derivate that and put it equal to 0. So here 0 is equals to u square by g dot 2 not cos 2 theta. From here, from this equation, we comes out to be we reach a solution cos 2 theta is equals to 0. So at what angle cos theta is 0? That is 2 theta is equals to 90 degree and theta will be 45 degree. This means if we throw an object with a u velocity at an angle of 45 degree, then this range will be maximum only in that case. If we decrease the angle or we increase the angle, the range will like definitely decrease. Now we come to some questions. Suppose now we take one assertion and reason question. I'll read that out and you just give me a solution of that. When a body is dropped or thrown horizontally from the same height, when a body is dropped or thrown horizontally from the same height, this is the height. One body is like dropped and one is thrown horizontally. This is horizontally and this is just dropped. So they are thrown horizontally from the same height. It would reach the ground at the same time. This height is same. So he's saying that two bodies, when one is thrown horizontally and one is just dropped, they will reach the ground at the same time. This is the assertion. So what is the reason behind that? Horizontal velocity has no effect on the vertical direction. Horizontal velocity has no effect on the vertical direction. That is true, because in the horizontal direction there is no acceleration, so that velocity will not change the velocity of the in the vertical direction. So in this A is true, like assertion is true and reason is also, both are true, and reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. So in this case we will take as A as true. Now let's take the numerical. Question is, what is the question given? There is a tube. In this, water is filled. In this, water is filled. We are going to, in the question it is given that you have to this tube is revolved around one of its end. Then find the force exerted on the other end by the water inside the ट्यूब. तो इस तरह के क्वेश्चन ये जनरली रोटेशन में आता है, लेकिन मैं यहाँ पे कवर कर रहा हूँ ताकि थोड़ा सा डेरिवेशन आप लोगों को समझ में आ जाए. तो यहाँ पर जो है हम एक छोटा सा कंपोनेंट ले लेंगे. सी, इन दिस केस suppose you consider this as a stone. If mass is attached with a string and it is being rotated around the center point, then there will be a centrifugal force which is calculated as half mv square. Okay, but in this case mass is uniformly it is distributed in this tube. So we cannot just use half mv square because mass is not length of this tube is L. The mass is not just concentrated at the end of a L, it is uniformly distributed. So we will take a dx component of this mass. So we will just consider this, which is at a distance of x from the center of rotation. So what we will do, first we will count as df, force, centrifugal force will be half mv square, or centrifugal force is equals to half mv square or mr omega square. These both are same, just you have to replace v is equals to r omega and this will be derived. So there is no difference. So I am just solving these numerical considering that you have cleared your basics and you must be familiar with the basic formulas. So that's why we are just jumping directly to the numericals. So df, force, will be equals to m, the mass of this small component we will consider as dm, m, distance from the center is x, angular speed at every point will remain same because this is angular velocity. So what will be the mass of this object? You can calculate by the linear variation, like dm dm is equals to m by l into x. This is mass per unit length. Mass per unit length is total mass divided by a length. So we just counted a mass for a unit length, and for this component of length, we have to multiply with the dx. So mass per unit into dx will be the mass of this small component whose width is dx. So we'll put dm value over here, m by l into dx into x into omega square. So df is equals to m by l omega square into x into dx. Integrating on both sides, will form df is equals to m by l omega square x dx. If we integrate x dx, it will comes out to be x square by 2. So f is equals to m by l omega square into x square by 2, integrating it from 0 to l, and this is from 0 to f. So 0 to l. So total force, centrifugal force, m by l omega square into l square by 2. From l is cutted, so force is centrifugal force is equals to m l omega square by 2. Okay, fine. The difference between this and this is it's mr, same as mr omega square, it's m l by 2 omega square. We are considering this radius as l by 2 because this mass is distributed from 0 to maximum L. That's why in the case of radius it is not taken as L, it is taken as L by D. From derivation we have proved this. Now let's solve another question. See, question is given what is the maximum range of a gun on horizontal terrain is 16 kilometer. Like gun, when we fire a gun, the maximum range it can reach is 16 kilometer. G we have to take 10. What must be the muzzle velocity of a shell? So muzzle velocity of a shell means the shell, when we fire a gun, the shell is like have a recoil velocity and it is thrown out of the gun, and only the bullet goes out of the shell. So the velocity of shell will be same as the initial velocity of the that bullet. So it has given, so you can solve this. It is asking you the maximum range. See, it is a maximum range. It is you in the earlier class we have taken that for theta is equals to 45 degree, the maximum range is occurred. So we have to fire a bullet at angle of 45 degree with the velocity of u. This u is the velocity of a shell or a initial velocity of a bullet. This we have to fire the bullet in a projectile to attain the maximum range. Don't confuse this. So R maximum is given as 16 kilometer, means 16,000 meter. We have to convert this into meter because G we are taking as meter per 10 meter per second square. So we have to convert every distance unit into meter. So directly, if you remember the formula, what was the formula for R max? R max is equals to, so R max will be equals to, what is the, we don't know the initial velocity, we will just put R max is 6,000 u by gs 10. So u is equals to 1,60,000 and under root u is equals to 400 meter per second. That is easy and can be taken into account during the examination, because if you remember the formula you can just directly put the like in the formula and the answer will be arrived. Now if you don't remember the formula, then how you are going to solve it? Then it will be a little bit lengthy. see here v is equals to 0. We know that this is 45 degree for the maximum range, so this ux will be equal to u by root 2. How it is arrived? Ux is equals to u cos theta, and theta, when we put cos 45 1 by root 2, so ux is equals to u root 2, and uy is also equals to u by root 2. This I am doing just to explain you each and every scenario, taking the only the ascent. So v is equals to u plus 80. Fine. V final velocity is 0. U is u by root 2 minus g into t1. So what is the what is t1? T1 comes out to be here it will goes negative, negative will be cutted. So u by g root 2. This will be time. What is the total time of the ascent will be? So total time of the this when the bullet reach the ground, again ground, total time is equals to 2 into t1, that is 2u by g into root 2. It is root 2u by g. You can write in front of it, u root 2 by g. This is total time. And now you must be knowing that this is a horizontal distance, so normal speed time formula we will use. So r range is equals to speed, that is ux into total time. So ux we have u by root 2 into u root 2 by g. Fine. So root 2 and root 2 got cancelled, so we have r is 1600 into g we taken as 10 is equals to u square. Again u comes out to be 400 meter per second. This is just as in previous case. Now let's move to another question, which is logical based. Question usually comes, a man in a traveling in a train just drop an object from the window of a train. What kind of motion basically that object follows? It's very simple. We have discussed in earlier classes that that object will follow a projectile motion, because acceleration is only in the y direction, there is no acceleration in x direction. So when in 2D planes the force or the acceleration is acting in only one axis, that object follows a projectile motion. One more thing, projectile motion, the option in the projectile, it is not written in that option, it is parabolic motion. So you just take the parabolic motion, because this is same as that phenomena in what we are discussing in 2D. So the solution will be hyperbola will be there, circular motion will be there. So you will just take the parabolic motion when acceleration is only in the one direction and the motion is of 2D kind, like velocity is of in the x and y direction and acceleration is only in one direction. So the motion or the path followed will be parabolic. Question: an aeroplane is flying horizontally with the velocity of 600 km per hour at a height of 1960 meter from the ground. When it is vertically at a point A on the ground, when it is vertically above at a point A from the ground, a bomb is released from it. The bomb strike the ground at point B. The distance AB is, we have to find the distance AB. He is saying that there is a plane which is moving in this direction at a velocity of 600 km per hour and above the ground is 1960 meter. When it is just above the point A, it drops a bomb and bomb strike the ground at point B. So we have to find what is the distance of this AB. I think it might be clear in your mind that we are considering the case of descent, only the descent from maximum height to the lowest ground. So in this case the bomb is dropped and this motion will be like this. So the velocity of the bomb which has been dropped from the plane will be same as the velocity of a plane. So ux will be same. We will convert this into meter per hour. 600 into 5 by meter per second we will convert into 500. It's 166.6 meter per. Okay, so this is the velocity. The ux will be same as plane, that is 166.6 meter per second. The velocity of the bomb at B point we don't have to consider. We just have to find what we will do. We have to find this range. To find this range, we must be knowing range is equals to ux into time taken. So ux you must be knowing 166.6. We only need the total time taken from this to this direction. Then the range of this AB can be calculated. So how do we calculate this total time? We will consider the total height of this equation. In the equation, considering this height, so what we can use, distance is equals to s is equals to ut. See, it has dropped from moving from rest. So initial velocity uy is equals to 0. Uy is equals to 0 in the below direction. So we can use s is equals to ut plus half at square. From this formula we will calculate the total time taken from this point to B point for the bomb. So s is 1960 is equals to initial velocity is ut is 0 because initially bomb has been dropped, plus half into g is taken as 10 into t square. So from here t is 1960 into 2 divided by 10 is equals to t square. T comes out to be 19.8 second. So this is the time taken for the bomb to reach the ground, and for the range we will put this value r is equals to 166.6 into 19.8 seconds. So answer range is coming about 3290 meter, which is equals to, you can say, 3.3 kilometer. Whatever is in, if the option is in kilometer you can take this, if the option is in meter, that is the answer. So I think it has been clear. Next, one more question is there. A particle is dropped from a height. Another particle is thrown in a horizontal direction with a speed of 5 meter per second from the same height. Does the both particle reach the ground at the same time? See, one particle is just dropped, that already we have discussed. It's the way the examiner asked the same question in a different language. One is dropped, A, and B is thrown horizontally with a velocity of 5 meter per second. So will both the object reach the ground at the same time? So this is what I want to, because yes, they both reach the ground at the same time, because for both the objects A and B, initial velocity is initial velocity, vertical component of initial velocity is 0. For B point, vertical component of this B is 0, and for A also it is 0. So considering the same height, same velocity, the time taken will be the same. Or you can say it in different language, that the acceleration in the y direction is not accounting in this problem. So that's why only the acceleration in y direction is there, and so both the object will travel the will reach at the same time. Again, one question is there. I'll read that out question for you. A bomber plane moves horizontally with a speed of 500 meter per second. A plane is there which is being moved in this direction at the velocity of 500 meter per second. It's not valid, but I don't know how it is given. It's for the numerical purpose. A plane cannot reach 500 meter per second, and a bomb released from it strikes the ground in 10 seconds. And the bomb which has been released, dropped from this plane, reached the ground, reached the B point in time taken, t is equals to, it is given 10 seconds. So what he wants to ask, find the angle at which it strikes the ground will be. We have to, in this question, we have to find the angle of bomb at point B. जब ये बॉम्ब बी ग्राउंड पे स्ट्राइक करेगा तो उसका क्या एंगल होगा वो निकालना है. तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है, जब ये स्ट्राइक करेगा तो ये बॉम्ब की वेलोसिटी होगा v, और इसका ग्राउंड के साथ जो एंगल होगा दैट विल बी this will be the angle theta. Theta will be same. So to calculate this angle, if we consider this as a triangle, I'll make this, zoom this out. This is the velocity, and this angle we have to calculate. Bomb is coming from this direction. This angle we have to calculate. If we use a trigonometry, that this tan theta will be equal to p by b, and p is the, what will be the p by b. Perpendicular will be the vertical component and base will be the horizontal. And what will be the vertical component is equals to, you can say v y by v x, that is known. Vx, it is clear that plane is moving horizontal, so Vx or Ux initial or final will remain as same because there is no acceleration. So if we would be able to find Vy, then if we divide that with the Vx 500, then theta can be calculated. Our motto is to find the velocity Vy over when this bomb strike the ground. So how we can calculate the Vy? It's very simple. Time is given. Try to use the motion of equation in which time is there. So this distance is not given. Fine. Initial velocity of the bomb Uy is equals to 0. So we have to use Uy to find the Vy. So V is equals to, we will use over here final velocity, that is Vy is equals to Uy plus acceleration into time. Vy we have to calculate. Uy is 0 plus acceleration is, due to gravity, is 10, time taken is 10. So Vy is equals to 100 meter per second. Put that equation in that theta. So tan theta is equals to 100 by 500, and theta is equals to tan inverse 1 by 5. So this is the answer. The object of solving this numerical is to tell you how to calculate the theta at any position. At any position, if he is asking this one, that you have to calculate both Uy and Ux, or Vy or Vx. So just remember this, that trigonometry formula, you can calculate the theta of a particular motion at any position. The question is, we fire a bullet in all the direction. Bullet is fired in all the direction. So what is the what was the question? What is the area? What is the area covered by a bullet for the for any particular velocity? We have to find. I'll just read a question for you. A large number of bullets are fired in all the direction with the same velocity v. What is the maximum area on the ground on which these bullets will spread? तो वो रेंज निकालना है, किस रेंज तक ये बुलेट जा सकती हैं. ये सिक्योरिटी रीजन्स में काम आता है जब आप इस तरह के कोई कैलकुलेशंस करते हैं कि ये बुलेट्स कहाँ तक जा सकती हैं. सो टू reach, remember, to reach maximum range, theta is taken as 40. We have to fire a bullet at an angle of 45 degree. 45 degree with a velocity of v. The bullet has been fired and we have to calculate how much area that bullet can cover. So we will considering this as the radius. The area covered will be like this one. So this range will be the radius for the circular path. So r max is u square by g, and u is given as you can take as this is 45 degree, like this is v only, because u we have taken a v square is equals to 2g r maximum. So what is the area covered will be the same as pi r square. This radius of this circular path is same as the maximum range, so is equals to pi into r max का whole square. So pi into v square by g का whole square, so is equals to pi v की power 4 by g square. This will be the answer. This is the maximum area when a particular bullet is fired with a velocity of v, can cover this much area. Yeah, that's it in the motion 2D. Questions come basically similar to these formats only.